As someone who makes a lot of content about how to manage ADHD as a Christian, one of the most common issues I find that with myself and even with others is how we can realistically create routines with ADHD. So in this video, we're going to discuss exactly that, how to create routines with ADHD as a Christian. And if you're new here, what's up? My name is Christian. I make content about mental health, all from a biblical perspective, so we can all heal, grow, and make an impact on the world as Christ intended. So one of the first things I always try to teach people, even in coaching calls, when it comes to creating a routine that is realistic and that actually works and sticks, is to understand that you already have a routine. And the reason that this is so incredibly important to understand is that a lot of the times we get overwhelmed with creating a routine or the whole routine process because we think we have to start from scratch every single time. But oftentimes what you really need to do is to take the routine you already have and make small changes here and there, and that will actually create the results that you truly want. I cannot stress this enough. It's important to, again, recognize that you already have a routine in place. It may not produce the results you want, it may not be efficient, it may not be good in your eyes or whatever, but understanding that you already have that routine, understanding that you do get things done, even though it may not be to the level you may want or or to an efficient level, you do still get things done with that routine. For example, if your current routine is rushed and you get to work late, you have a routine, it's just rushed. You get to work, you just get to work late, right? So it's a matter of changing what's making the routine rushed and changing what's making you get to work late and adjusting it from there rather than constantly starting from scratch. I'm writing a book actually about managing ADHD biblically as a Christian, and something I explain in the book is like it's like having a flat tire and then with your car and then taking your car to the junkyard just because you have a flat tire, right? There is an issue with your car, but it's just a flat tire. You don't need to junk the entire car. Address the actual flat tire, and then your car will be okay. Same thing through routine. Address the thing that isn't working, and then your routine will work for you. And a verse I feel really illustrates this really well is in 2 Timothy chapter 1, where Paul writes to Timothy, "For this reason I remind you to fan into flame the gift of God, which is in you through the laying on of my hands." Right? So you may wonder how this exactly connects to creating routine. And something I really find here is that Paul is acknowledging that there is already a gift of God within Timothy, but Timothy has to fan that into flame to make it something greater, to accomplish the will of God. The same thing with our routine, acknowledging, the things that are working, even the things that aren't working, but the things that are working, and then trying to make what we have better. And the second thing I always ask clients when they come to me wanting to create a routine is to explain to me what a good routine even looks like. Right? You have to understand what a good routine looks like, because if you're trying to create something, you have to have some kind of vision of what exactly you are creating, right? So for this, I'd like to go to Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2, where it says, "And the Lord answered me, write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so he may run who reads it." So in context of the actual verse, this is where God is speaking to Habakkuk concerning his complaints of what's going on in the southern kingdom of Israel, right? So, and God gave Habakkuk a vision of what is going to happen into the future. And something God tells Habakkuk is to write the vision, right? First, write it and to make it plain so that he may run who reads it, right? So something we can really get out of this is that God calls for clarity, and that there's a benefit to clarity. And then one of the benefits to clarity is that clarity produces action. Let me say that again. Clarity produces action. There's a reason the Lord told Habakkuk to write the vision and to make it plain. Sometimes, a lot of the times, really, the routines that we have are just vague ideas. Oh, I want to start working out more. Okay, back to school. What does it even look like? Do you want to start running more? Do you want to start lifting more? How often are you going to be going to the gym? Are you even going to the gym? Are you just going to run outside? Are you just going to do a home workout, right? So there's a lot of variables that we don't even consider when we're trying to create a goal and we're trying to create a routine that is consistent and sticks. And the reason And the reason we have routines that don't stick a lot of the times as well is because our brain craves clarity. Our brain craves clarity. And when we have a clear, we have clear instructions, our brain, it allows our brain to take action a lot better, and it uses a lot less mental energy in order to get that thing done. Especially since with ADHD, we have issues with executive dysfunction with our prefrontal cortex. We want to make sure that we set our brains up for success. And again, one of the major ways we can do that is with clarity. So with whatever routine that you want, right? What a good routine looks like, you have that down. What Just start being a little bit more clear with the things you want to do. So, for example, with myself, I said I wanted to, well, a couple years ago, I said I wanted to start going to the gym again consistently, right? So for me, that looked like me being at the gym before 9 o'clock, and then leaving the gym before 10 o'clock. That's something that really helps me with staying consistent. So it's not just this vague idea of going to the gym in the morning, but I'm knowing when I'm going to the gym, and then I can then take action because my goal and and the instructions for me doing that thing is clear. Now we have those two essential pieces in place. Now we're getting to the meat and potatoes of it. It's the actual placement of the things that you already described or wrote down of what you actually want to get done with your routine. So placement is really important when it comes to routines because there's a couple things that we need to keep in mind when it comes to a routine. I remember once in a coaching call, we were discussing energy levels, and something I said is that how our energy level is different throughout the day, and because of that, we need to be mindful of our energy levels and then create a routine around that. Right? I'm not going to making my routine for me to go to the gym at 10 o'clock at night because I know if I do that, I'm not going to have energy to do it well, and I'm probably not going to go, right? So we have to be mindful of when exactly we're placing the things in our routine to do, in our routine. Sometimes with ADHD, we can be really, really ambitious and bite off more than we can chew. And so because of that, something I like to do is to write out is to have a schedule of all the hours within my day, right? Or just write out each hour by hour, and to say what I'm going to do in that section of time. And between these few hours, this is something that something we call on time blocking. So, for example, if you have to take your kids to school at 9 o'clock, and then you get back by 9:30, and you want to go to the gym by 9:30, that's not probably gonna work for you, right? So you have to be realistic with the small little bit of time that it takes to do certain things, and be mindful of the transitions it takes to go from one task to another. Additionally, something I like to do personally, and I teach, is to think about something that can trigger that thing. So for me, with going to the gym, the trigger for me is the morning time, right? So the triggering could be at a certain emotional state. It can be a time of day. It can be, an alarm. It can be really anything. But something that really prompts me my brain to get into gym mode. So for me, morning, gym mode. Morning, go on a walk, right? So whatever the thing is, think about something that can um, help you get to that task that you want to get done. And something that really helps with this trigger portion is to pair it with something that you already do, right? So again, this is why I said it's important to recognize that you already have a routine. So if you consistently eat breakfast at, I don't know, 10 a.m. and 10 a.m. every day, then maybe that is a time where you can watch a sermon, or you can do some Bible study if that's what you're trying to include into your routine. Or maybe that's before that breakfast is a time where you can pray and then have prayer time with God while you over breakfast, right? So pairing that with something that you already consistently do is going to be something that's going to help you a lot with creating new habits and having a routine that actually sticks, because your brain doesn't have to work as hard in order to implement that thing, because there's something that you already consistently doing, your brain's already used to accomplishing. And lastly, though, I find a really overlooked step that truly makes your routines not stick and fall apart. It's realizing that you have to adjust your routine and then see failure as feedback. Let me say that again. Failure is feedback. Sometimes, I keep saying this. I keep saying sometimes, and I really mean all the time. It's really like all the time, honestly. We see failure just as failure. And because we see failure just as failure, Failure doesn't go any further than that, right? But if we see failure as feedback, understanding ourselves more, understanding what works and what doesn't work, then we can do better with our routines. I'll give a personal example of this with myself. So I have found that when I go to the gym at night, typically, not all the time, but typically, my workout isn't as good, and I really just don't feel like going. And it's just a weird thing with my whole day, with working and everything, right? So because of that, I realized, okay, me going to the gym at night consistently, at least during this season of my life, is probably not the best thing to do. So I started going to the gym in the morning, and that really works for me. So the failure was me not going to the gym consistently or me having really bad workouts. But because I saw that as feedback, I was able to adjust my routine and then have a routine now where I go to the gym consistently and my workouts are consistently good. You see what I did there? I took the failure, recognized it as feedback, and then we took that feedback and made an adjustment. This is the same thing that you need to do with your routines anytime you're creating a routine or even with your current routine. Because truthfully, there are our lives go in seasons, and there's a season where maybe a routine will work and it'll be good for you. And then honestly, may be another season where it's like, okay, this is not working anymore and I need to change it up. A big example is that for those of you who go to school, is that, maybe during the summer, you have more freedom, you can do certain things in certain ways. But if you were to apply that summer routine into your routine when you're going back to school and you're back into the swing of things, you'll probably find it really difficult to keep that routine consistent because your life is different, right? You're in a different season of your life. So same thing with any kind of routine you have. Understanding the failure, seeing that failure not just as failure or as a shortcoming or as a mistake, but seeing it as feedback for a better routine. So again, to quickly recap, acknowledge your routine, understand what a good routine even looks like for you, create realistic placement for the things you want to do, and then adjust as needed, taking failure as feedback. If you're a Christian, you want to be able to manage your ADHD in a way that honors God, feels good, and actually energizes you rather than burn you out. I want to invite you to join the ADHD Reset Challenge. This is a challenge where over the course of 5 days, me and you will work one-on-one to address one problem that you're having with ADHD, an area of ADHD that's holding you back in your life. So if you're interested in joining the ADHD Reset Challenge, you can click the first link in the description or the link that's in the pinned comment. I'm excited to see y'all there. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe for more content like this. And of course, you already know, above all that, you got this because God's got you. Peace out. I swear, I have more muscle than it looks like. I just need to use a little bit more of this. Trust.